Hello, I am Jody Wolf. You're watching EXPOZ. Today, September 25th, 2011, and it's 43 minutes after midnight, Birmingham, Alabama. Topic: Abbas of the Palestinian Authority, not happy, gave UN a deadline. Can you believe this? But first, I want to make an apology to Israel. And I want to apologize to Israel and the Jews. When I said in a recent blog, I said, I know God will protect the Jews. And I also said, but the Jews don't know that. I meant it that way, but I misworded the statement. As a Christian, I believe that God is done with the world pushing Israel and the Jews, his chosen people, around. I believe God will not allow Israel to ever be divided again. I believe God will strike every country and every person who tries to do so. I'm not sure the belief in the literal protection of Israel and the Jews by God and how widely accepted that is. I do believe the Jews know by God's own word to them and by the leadership of great men like Benjamin Netanyahu, who knows what God's word says. They know, but they also know they need to keep up the good fight. I believe Israel's here for eternity, and the Jews will call that land Israel home. This is God's promise to the Jews. The countdown has begun. They're rooted and they're there to stay. Now, let me get on with Abbas giving the UN a deadline. I don't know how many of you heard the reaction from Abbas last evening and today, but it's kind of interesting that Abbas had given the UN a time limit in making their decision about the PA statehood. What gives Abbas the right to question or better demand a quick response from the UN in their decision? And it was even stated yesterday that this could take months. But Abbas gave them days. So I'm thinking along here. And if I were to put a bet on it, I would bet that Abbas and Iran's mini midget Ahmadinejad had their own closed-door meeting yesterday evening. I'll also take a reasonable guess and say if and when the UN does comment on these demands, or maybe I'll call them rather than request, simply because he already made the request known at the United Nations meeting. So whether this is a demand or request, who knows? This reaction from Abbas, in my opinion, is not his own. It's coming from someone else, and I believe in a blog, or as I said in the blog yesterday about giving airtime to either Iran and the Palestinian Authority Speaker Abbas, in which neither deserved, because you heard what both of them said. It was nothing but kill the Jews, kill the Jews, kill the Jews. Nothing more. Also, Abbas runs to the Security Council, according to Man's News Agency. This knee-jerk type of reaction is that of a bully, maybe in their neighborhood, but not in ours. It is on the level of a child running from one parent to another until one gives in. He must learn this is not the way things work. Also defiant, Abbas is very disappointed in Obama. My response: get in line, Abbas. Obama, as much as told the Palestinian Authority back in May this year, he Obama would go to bat for them. However, Obama did not have the right to make such an assumption to Abbas, to his cabinet, or to anyone else. My friends, listen here. Assumption is the mother of all screw-ups. I left it politely there. And last, Abbas, the Palestinians will never have a state. Just the way it is. Jody Wolf, EXPOZ.